during a virtual competition, so we had to have her for an in-person one. So thank you so much, Brianna.
Thank you for having me, and this is picking up well. All right, well, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for being patient during our technical difficulties. If you haven't had a chance to eat, please do so, but please save me a piece of pizza for after this because I will need it. I want to thank 100K for having me back today for this Pitch4K competition. Has anyone attended one of these before? A couple people? Okay, well, if you haven't, you're in for a treat. We have some great competitors today, all who are bringing some fabulous ideas to help move our region forward. And before we get into their presentations, there are a few introductions and thank yous that we would like to do, starting with our judges. So, no one is chewing, right? Because I'm going to call on you just to raise your hand real quickly. With us, we have Chris Bohinski, General Manager with Factory 2. Factory 2 is a maker space not far from here, and if you haven't been there, I highly encourage you all to check it out. We also have Latasha Peebles, Grant Manager with the MEDC. And finally, Samantha Fountain, Economic Development Director with the City of Flint. Sam? All right, so since we have a lot of newbies in the audience, here's how today is going to go. This competition was designed to foster the entrepreneur mindset in Flint and Genesee County, along with creating an inclusive support system for individuals to help move their idea, product, or business forward. So, in order to participate, we do have some criteria. You have to be 18 years or older. You have to reside in Flint or Genesee County. You must accept mentoring before and after the competition. So these individuals have been working with a coach to help them push their idea along. And for those with the operating business, you must be in business for less than 1 year. So that's a little bit about the criteria of who we have with us today. Today marks the start of the 4th year of the Pitch4K. So this has been going on for a few years now. We'll get to hear from a past winner a little later on in today's program to hear about how this has helped them. And we hope that whether you win or not, this will be helpful for you all too. We want to give a couple of thanks, and I will advance through so that you guys can see here, to our fabulous sponsors. So this competition would not be possible without the help of our community supporters. So first of all, we want to thank the C.S. Mott Foundation, who has funded the program. We want to thank Northgate, who has funded the live stream. The participant update sponsor, Flint Prince. And our award sponsors, we've got the MEDC, who is represented here on our judging panel, and SkyPoint Ventures, who is represented in the back there with Dylan. So thank you guys for being here for tonight's competition. As part of their preparation, you guys want to just raise your hand, give a quick hello to our audience members here. These finalists have participated in a pitch clinic facilitated by the University of Michigan Flint's Innovation Hub, and we're paired with a mentor to assist in their pitch preparation. How many of you like to stand up in front of a crowd of people and talk? Not many of us, some of us. So you guys can relate to how nerve-wracking this can be for our competitors today. So I'm going to ask you guys, no matter who you're here for, to be very supportive, to be very engaged, to help cheer them along. They've been preparing, and this is the moment that they've been preparing for. So who is ready to hear these amazing ideas, these businesses, these entrepreneurs? It's going to be great, but as with any competition, we do have some rules. So here's how it's going to go. The finalists will have 5 minutes to present their pitch. A tight 5 minutes, okay? After which the judges have been allowed 1 question per pitch. No double whammies, okay? I'm going to keep you guys on track over here. The finalists will then have 60 seconds to answer. Once all pitches have been heard, the audience will vote to narrow down our finalists down to 5. After the audience votes, the judges will then deliberate and select the winners first through third, and the audience's vote will determine the People's Choice Award. So for those who are here in the audience, have your phones ready at that time. You guys will do some online voting. For anyone who we have watching online, also have your phones or browsers ready, because all of those votes will go into our People's Choice. So lots of chances to win tonight. With that said, there are some dollars that come behind winning. Our People's Choice Award will receive $1,000. Third place will receive $1,000. Second place will receive $2,500. And first place will walk away with $5,000. Who could use that money? Me too. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and get into our first participant, Asia Harris with Harris Family Health. Come on out, Asia. I'll hand you this. Dr. Asia Harris is a Flint native and a family medicine doctor starting Harris Family Health so that she can continue to care for patients in Flint and be a resource to her community. So with that, I'll hand it over to you.
Okay, hello, I'm Dr. Asia Harris. I'm here to talk about Harris Family Health, which is Flint's first direct primary care clinic. I am a family medicine doctor, so I see both children and adults. I came back home to Flint 2 years ago to practice medicine after finishing residency in Chicago and finishing medical school at Georgetown. Now, Harris Family Health is a direct primary care clinic. That means it's a membership-based primary care service. It offers affordable, transparent, and comprehensive care. It's a stronger relationship between the doctor and the patient without the barriers of the insurance companies, the regulators, the administrators. It's me and you as a patient trying to improve your health care and your health care journey. Now, there are problems with the healthcare system. We know it. A lot of us have experienced them. But 1 in 2 patients or people worry about paying their deductible. And this makes sense because health insurance is very expensive. In the Michigan marketplace, it's actually $360 per month on average for someone's premium and over $4,000 for someone's deductible each and every year. On top of that, 1 in 4 people don't fill their prescriptions or they stretch their medications because of cost, which complicates their health outcomes and their management. And then 60% of people in Genesee County say they have difficulties making timely appointments because they're months out or they can't get the time off from work. So Harris Family Health is a solution. We have same-day appointments and no wait times. We value and prioritize your time. On top of that, you won't feel like a number. You'll be part of a small community of patients, not the over 2,000 patients that a doctor normally has, and 2,000 people is enough to fill half of the Dordt Federal Center or the old IMA. Additionally, you won't feel rushed. Every single appointment, you have up to 60 minutes to talk about some of your concerns, which is a lot more time than the 13 to 16 minutes on average that you will have with a normal doctor. On top of this, all this is available at affordable monthly fee based on your age. And with that monthly membership, you also can save money on medications by the wholesale distribution that you get directly from me as your doctor. On top of that, with the medications, you can also save money on blood work, which is significantly less with the agreement that I have with the local lab company. So you see all these prices, they're very transparent. So in the end, you don't have any surprise medical bills with this direct primary care clinic. You know exactly what you're getting up front, and so you can actually manage your care a lot more affordably. But for example, if I had a 37-year-old with high blood pressure and diabetes, they could have their membership, their diabetes and blood pressure medicines, as well as their yearly labs for a low price of $744 for the entire year. On top of that, they get unlimited appointments and access to their doctor. And this is significantly less than the $4,000 deductible on the Michigan marketplace. Now, the target for this, everyone in Flint and Genesee County can come, but I'm targeting those who don't have insurance, who are uninsured, those who have high deductible plans, or small businesses who actually want to provide a health benefit to their employees. So with this, the clinic will be located just north of the river at the North Bank Center down the street, and we'll be targeting the people in the neighboring zip codes. Like I said, other people can also come, but in those target zip codes, there are over 5,000 people who are estimated to be at least uninsured. And for the business, the projected revenue for the first year is $46,000, and that's with a gradual increase of membership growth as well as an 80% retention. And by year 3, it's $250,000 revenue projected with almost 300 members. Now, with the monthly expenses, we do expect there to be a break-even point when we get 27 members to join and have me care for their health. And as far as competition, this is Flint's first direct primary care clinic. There's no direct primary care clinics in Flint, but in the neighboring or target zip codes, there are 28 traditional primary care clinics, but only 4 of those actually offer discounted pricing for those who are uninsured. On top of that, we'll have marketing and growth strategies that are online and offline. So we'll do like paper material, social media. We'll do things in the community as far as outreach, referrals. We'll raise awareness for this great opportunity. And with that, if I do win the money, I will use it for equipment, for licensing, for funding softwares, as well as using it for like medications and inventory development. Now again, Harris Family Health, I'm super excited for it. It offers so many benefits as far as longer appointment times, more access to your doctor. You have price transparency, discounted prices. You'll be able to have no surprise medical bills, and that will improve your health care and your health outcomes, as well as decrease your hospitalizations and ED visits. So Harris Family Health is going to be Flint's first direct primary care clinic, and it's going to allow you to have primary care with less hassle. Thank you.
Check. Okay. We're going to go ahead and open it up for questions. So, Chris, you're up first. What questions do you have for Asia?
So, the question that I would have kind of most from this, you mentioned that it's meant to target and get into the uninsured, in the area and stuff like that. We have kind of a wide breadth of that, and we're going to touch on that, get some of them in. Is the intention to potentially grow and have more of the facilities to address even more people down the line, or were you kind of trying to keep it small just to touch on it just a little bit going?
So this is for everyone who is in Michigan, technically, because I have a Michigan medical license, but I'm only directly targeting uninsured because it's a little bit simpler to kind of get them to understand that this is an opportunity to have health care. But anyone with or without insurance are able to be members of the clinic and have me care for them. And so it's just an opportunity to access healthcare more affordably and have people understand the transparency and the simplicity that we can provide primary care, whether or not you have insurance or not.
Okay, so I have a lot of questions, but the one I will use for this is how are you going to make sure that there is no wait time if you have an influx of a lot of patients all at the same time?
So obviously I haven't started yet, so I technically don't have any members, but with the kind of trickle and gradual growth, I will have like a wait list. So it's like you technically aren't a patient yet if I'm not able to kind of handle all the members at the same time. And so I'm able to have people have same day appointments and no wait times because appointments aren't back to back. So in normal schedule, you have 15-minute appointments, double booking, like it's a lot going on. But if someone's spaced out, they're able to get the appointment in a timely fashion. So it's valuing their time. It's not going to be like super late, but they also will be gradually kind of brought into the practice. So it's not an overwhelming, like all of a sudden I have 500 patients. It's going to be gradual, and hopefully I'll get them all in and we can kind of improve their health.
Thank you.
Great job, by the way. Excellent presentation. My question to you is really on your long-term growth trajectory. So it looked like you said 297 approximately members at year 3. How do you anticipate getting to that point if it sounds like it's just starting with you?
So the estimations that I did were very conservative. I hope that it happens pretty quickly and gradually, and as I kind of build the business, I'm able to kind of do a timely fashion as far as bringing people in. And so if that 300 happens sooner, then it happens sooner. But I do have an idea of at what point I'll need additional people. So right now it's going to be me in an office room. It's going to be kind of like an office that happens to have an exam table. But I'm able to space people out and see people as they kind of need to be seen. But if at some point the kind of logistics of everything and kind of handling stuff needs an additional person as far as an office manager or an assistant or a nurse, I am going to bring those in as well as expand the clinic as size needs.
Thank you, Asia. We're going to give her a round of applause. All right. Next up, we have Ben Logan with Ben's Buzz Box. Ben is a local entrepreneur with a passion for making products that have a positive impact on the environment and the world. His current project is a beehive design created to create healthier bees. If you've ever seen the Bee Movie, you know how important this is, right? So, Ben, I'll hand it over to you.
Absolutely. It's an honor to be here, guys. Alrighty, that's the wrong way. Let's see here. Is this in the right order? I don't know. Just this way? Okay. No worries. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, that's a little more bee related. Okay. All right, let me ask you guys a question. It's probably a good way to start to get us all on the same page. What comes to mind when you think of a honeybee? Anybody? Okay, I'm getting a lot of honey. That's a very common thing. So a lot of people just think honeybees produce honey, but in reality, they're a pillar to our civilization. And this is how they're a pillar to our civilization. Honeybees are directly responsible to 1/3 of the food we consume and put in our mouth. And if honeybees were to collapse, we would actually starve to death. So a lot of people are worried about things like an asteroid, nuclear war. I'm worried about honeybees, because if honeybees disappear, we will all have a very miserable fate. So what I've done is I've been trying to develop a new beehive. And the reason I've been trying to develop a new beehive is the beehive currently used in industry for pollinating our crops was invented in 1854, and it never had transportation in mind. So these bees are loaded up in these antiquated hives, and they're shipped around the country on the back of semi-trucks. There's 2.7 million beehives in the United States. 2 million of them are used for pollination contracts. And a great example of that is the almond crop in California, where 97% of the world's almonds are grown in that single region, and without a honeybee, we will not have almonds. So it's a very important relationship. Some people call it a symbiotic relationship, but it's really us relying on the bees. So the problem is, as the bees are being transported around the country, they're getting stressed out. And a lot of it has to do with thermal stress, being in a wooden hive, and there's not enough airflow. So what I've done is I've tried to modernize the beehive to really help out the honeybees. And this is one of the things that I actually recently received a United States patent on. And I have worked on this idea for 8 years, so it's a little bit complicated, but I will try to simplify it. Instead of a wooden hive, what I have is I have an injection molded body, and it's filled with a closed cell urethane frame. And what that does is it raises the R value from 1 to 7. And now the hive has better insulation properties, which reduces stress on the bees. But I took it a step further, and I added a thermal vent. And this requires 0 electricity to work, and it just works off a simple bimetallic coil. It's a mechanical device that expands and contracts, and it was formulated for the optimal bee temperature, for the internal temperature of the hive. So it can regulate any hive it's connected to with my system and keep the bees at a reduced stress level. And what this does is it provides a more stable environment for them to get on the crop, be healthier, and have a higher fruit yield, which benefits all of us. Everywhere across the world, this could revolutionize beekeeping by changing the way we just did the hive design. Here's my market. I gotta speed it up a little bit, but the wooden Langstroth hive, I'm actually able to keep it cost competitive with them. Here's some of my early prototypes where I just did vacuum forming, so this is a tested idea. You can see the closed cell insulation here. I have a patented entrance as well for more of the hobbyist use. And then I also designed it to be in use with the existing beehive. So this is a Langstroth hive. You can see it's wooden. And one of the biggest complaints I had when I initially designed the beehive was it wasn't compatible with existing designs. So I went back to the drawing board, and I actually made it completely compatible with existing designs. So let me just hit the next slide here. This is a little complicated, but this is a 3-year projection sheet, and it's a multifaceted idea. So obviously there's a lot of things that you'd have to really check on. But I am here trying to raise money to move the product forward. I recently had the patent, and my next hurdle is putting this thing into production. I need almost $1 million worth of tooling. So I am here standing on this podium trying to raise the $5,000 and then hopefully gain interest from investors where we can make the injection molds, put this into production, and actually change the world. I know it sounds like a lot of money, but I did a bootstrap version on my projections, just selling 2 hives a day. And I'm talking about replacing 10 million beehives. So the 2 a day is definitely a low number. it already pays back the almost $1 million right there on year 3, and that's at a bootstrap projection. So this is a multi-million-dollar idea. I believe in it wholeheartedly. This is the end of my presentation. I didn't want to make it too technical. Here's some recent CAD drawings of the hive, some exploded diagrams. And yeah, I guess I've kind of hit everything. We're getting the red flag here.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, thank you.
For the love of bees, I love it.
Yeah.
Chris, we'll start over here with you for questions.
So, I've recently worked with several other beekeepers at the place that we're at, and most of them are currently building a lot of their own frames using the traditional, I guess, or more antiquated design. I guess my question is, how do you think you'll be able to really push it to a lot of the people who are like, I already have my way to do it, I can build them myself, I can do it kind of cheap. How do you feel you're going to be able to convince them to say, I'm going to go with this thing that's completely new, especially if they're not thinking of like the technical aspects of it as much, not the bee side, but the building of the boxes kind of technical side of it.
Yeah, 100%. So the hive's going to last for 25 years, and with the insulation properties here in Michigan, we lose 50% of our bees in the wooden boxes. Bees cost $125, so just by losing one colony, you could already bought a Ben's Buzz box. The Ben's Buzz box allows the bees to migrate around the frames when they form the cluster in winter, and that's why they die off, because when the hives get cold, they have to keep warm by vibrating and consuming honey, and they lose it when they go around the edge of the frame and it's too cold. So with my insulated box, I actually discovered that I had way higher success rates overwintering. Incentive.
Sure.
So I'm going to assume you've talked to multiple beekeepers about this, and my question is, what do they think about your product?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So as I went along, it's been an 8-year process, and there's been a lot of ups and downs. I would put provisional patents on some of the ideas, and honestly, some of them weren't great ideas, and I'd post them on Facebook on the different bee pages, and I'd get everyone's feedback, and I only implemented the ideas that people loved and that were tested and worked with the bees, and those are the ones that I actually have the full utility patent on now.
Thank you.
So my question is kind of twofold. One is, how did you get into this? And the other part of that is this solely commercial?
Yes, excellent. So I actually didn't know the difference between a bee or a wasp probably 10 years ago. And I saw a movie called The Vanishing Bees, and it just hit me to a core, like it hit a note inside me, and I couldn't believe how dependent we were on honeybees. And I've always had an interest in agriculture, and I like designing things. I have a natural talent for it. So I bought honeybees, and then I'm like, wait, this thing, why are we doing it like this? And so I had a new approach to it, and I think it really had an advantage. So that was where that all came about. And yes, I'm looking to use it commercially and residentially, both markets. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Carter, you mic'd up? You ready? All right, next up we have Carter Holmes with Flip City, creator of Flip City. He is also a current student at the University of Michigan Flint studying business. Take it away, Carter.
Hello everybody, I'm Carter. I am the creator and owner of Flip City, the social app for travel. So 89% of people, Americans, said that they want to travel more spontaneously in 2021. Now how many spontaneous travelers do we have in this room? You can raise your hand. A couple. How many want to be more spontaneous with their traveling? There we go, okay. So you get to your location, what do you do after that? So we have a ton of apps that help us get to those places, but not a ton of apps that help us find things to do once we're there. So this is where Flip City comes in. It is a location-based social app that helps connect users with people, places, and local happenings all in your nearby area. So we're targeting the college-age people, 18 to 35, basically. I know that's not exactly college age, but anybody who's an avid traveler, we want them using the app, whether they are going to a new town or a whole new state or a new country. So you can kind of think about us as a mix between Twitter and Waze, whereas we have the format of Twitter and the content of Twitter, but more formatted to fit your immediate location and to share information in that way. So we've actually went through a couple changes over the years. I started back in 2019 with this mock-up. And that slowly grew over COVID into this. I actually launched in late 2021. I taught myself the code over COVID, so that was a real boring quarantine for me. But now in 2022, we have this model, once again, with the more Twitter formatted design. So we've come a long way. It does not come without having competition though. So some of you may have heard of Yik Yak. I know all of you have probably heard of Snapchat. So with Flipsity, I'm looking to kind of marry the two of those. So Yik Yak, it is an anonymous only, 5-mile radius only, up and down voting forum app. Yes, it shows what's going on in your area, but not in the best way, not in the best format. Snapchat, on the other hand, you can only use it if you make an account. After their most recent update, they actually use your exact location, which I find kind of creepy. And it's also a chat structure app, so not really formatted correctly to share the most information in your area. With Flipsity, we're supporting both account types, so if people want to try the app out, or if they just want to see what's going on in the area, they can have an anonymous account. If they want to get more serious, actually start posting stuff, which I hope you do, you'll make an actual account. That'll help out a little bit with user acquisition. You can choose the range you want to go in, so if you want to see what's going on within a mile, great. If you want to see what's going on within 250 miles, that's great as well. And then once again, we have that feed structure, and that allows you to get the best information in the best format, basically. So I'll have you guys raise your hands again. Who thinks I'm beating Snapchat coming out of the gate with this? Raise your hand. That is very wishful thinking. Thank you very much for that. So if you can't beat them, what do? You join them. So I actually joined the SnapKit developer program. So this is a partnership with Snapchat that actually helps me use a lot of their technology in my app. So any post you find, whether it's yours or somebody else's on Flipsity, you can actually share it to your story or to your friends. And that not only helps me out with a little bit of marketing, more exposure, but it helps you share what's going on in your area a little bit better. So some other big accomplishments. We are launched on the App Store. We launched about a year ago. There's about 100 users on there right now, which is kind of cool with the minimal marketing I've done. And that's because I'm mainly focusing on user feedback and kind of making the best possible app I can, since it is my first app I've ever made. So I'm consistently updating, and from there, what's in the future, I really want to make a version for the Android market. That's what's next. And I also don't want Flipsity to be a one-app wonder. So I really want this to be kind of like a Facebook situation where we start with this flagship product and then we make a bunch of other great apps. So a win today would definitely help support those projects. Not currently making any money on it. I'm just kind of doing it for fun and enjoyment. So that would definitely help. And thank you. I hope I can help you guys on your next trip. And I would love to answer any questions you may have.
All right. Nice job. First question?
So, what kind of incentives have you put out, especially getting early adopted users, to really try to get them to put the posts on there? Because something like this that is very social based, obviously you need a lot of that up front and a lot of that information up front. So what ways have you tried to incentivize like kind of the starting users and the kind of ground zero, getting everything going users?
Yeah, that's a great question, because I have a lot of people actually, they get on for the first time out in like Utah or something like that, and I'm like, you're the only one there. So that's been a big problem. So with me, I want to focus on like 3 key areas. Find local businesses, then incentivize the businesses actually to incentivize the people. So it's kind of a triangular incentivization, I don't know if that's a word, but basically something where it makes people want to get on there, but also the businesses will get some attention from it as well. So it'll be mutually beneficial for all of us. I kind of have a plan to have, I don't know what that means, Grand Rapids, Flint, and then Detroit as my 3 areas.
Okay. So you mentioned you're not making any money on this right now.
Yep.
So can you explain a little bit of how you are going to make money through this app?
So another great question. So I actually started out with ads on the app, and I made a little bit of money, but that was a big complaint I got early on. I didn't want it to look like a money grab, because it's not. This is a passion project. It's something I love. So to really help out with user acquisition, I just totally cut that out, focus on providing a better user experience. And from there, once again, I want to work with local businesses and stuff like that. If I can build these partnerships, like with my fellow contestants, like that'd be incredible. Just something, I want to build something more mutually beneficial. And it's not costing me that much money, but it definitely would help to have those partnerships built in the future where I can advertise for them.
So earlier you said that your company is more so like the flagship and that you want to create other things underneath it. So kind of to follow up with her question, what is your end goal for this app? Do you, because one of the things that you said that really stuck out to me was that first, I think it's Snapchat, you're working through their Snap Kit,
Yep.
correct? Could you see possibly them maybe utilizing your product to make theirs better, or could you see a partnership or maybe selling your app and then moving on to your next phase?
Yep, I would absolutely love Snapchat to, to buy it even. That'd be great. Another wishful thinking thought, but the end goal with this essentially was to be, like you said, the flagship, the first one. I don't want to stop making apps. I found it something that I love, and I'm a business student, so it's kind of odd that coding became my thing, but it did. So this was really the first, this was my proof of concept. If I can make it to the App Store, then I can get other people to the App Store too. So I would love to work with other businesses and make more apps on my own. And that's really the end goal, is kind of have fun with it and build myself up and build other people up too.
Thank you, Carter.
Thank you.
All right. Next. Yeah. Are we enjoying ourselves so far? Yes, lots of great ideas happening here in our community. We just have one quick change and then we will resume. Ready? All right, next up we have Donjel Wright with Mind Deal. Good evening, everyone. She is ready to tell us all about what her Mind Deal is.
Hello. I'm glad to see everyone can make it tonight. But it's a little cold for y'all to be in your underwear. Thanks for coming. I'm Donjel, and I'm into creating beneficial products and services. I am Mind Deal. Who here likes to treat themselves to French fries, a little bacon with their eggs, a little fried catfish? You cook it? All right, so what do you do with it once it's done? Before you eat it, you gotta take it out the grease, right? Hot grease. It drains from your food, it burns through containers, it's even able to clog your drains. And it's so hot, it creates a steam. The styrofoam boxes, it's a sauna, and it makes your food soggy. And then they line the styrofoam boxes with parchment paper, and it's non-absorbent or eco-friendly. It absorbs more of the heat, and it allows the styrofoam to burn, and you can get a mess. A lot of us are concerned about our health. Consuming excess oil, creating excess calories. On the next slide, I have two pictures. One is of a culinary instructor, and one is of a chef. Take a look. Both of these are professional people, and they're lining with paper towel. And here she's gonna pour fries into a bowl. There were videos, but I couldn't show the video. Introducing to you, in 22, the new papered disposable products. This product is just some of them here that is in the line. Disposable paper products is capable of absorbing heat, oil, and moisture. It is sturdy, comes in one unit, and it helps aid with grease clogs. This here also will aid in a healthier food for a healthier you. My competition has money. They have reputation. They've been at it for years. They have money. They're on your shelves, they're in your homes. Again, they have money. But this line is based for people who cook, restaurants, culinary institutes. These possibilities are endless. This is my competitors chart. And none of them are producing anything that's absorbent. My target customer market are the major global styrofoam and paper plate companies. Their combined value is over $125 billion. And what's so inspiring to me is some of them are women. Currently, I have no money. It's just me and my thoughts. But that can change by securing a licensing deal with one or all manufacturing companies in the form of royalties or some small percentage of unit sales. But if I'm a winner tonight, I will use my funds to complete my application. Thanks for listening.
Feel good?
I
Feeling
feel
good?
wonderful now. I'm so glad.
Yeah, there we go. All right, first question.
So how do you think you're going to approach getting kind of the word out there for what the product is, how it's going to be used? Because I understand you're going to want to approach a manufacturing company, you're going to show them how it works and everything. But if they are going to be doing it as a just like commercial to restaurants and kitchens, or if they're going to be putting it onto shelves at your local Meijer, Kroger, or such like that, how do you think you'll be able to kind of promote what this product is doing for the consumer that the other products aren't doing?
Well, like I said, it's absorbing oil, moisture, and heat. Parchment paper is not. So they're using parchment paper to line at the restaurants for the food, and it's creating oil, and it's creating a mess, and it's not absorbing nothing as far as what they're using it for. They have been unavailable to reach since COVID, and just taking the different steps with the SBA and helping me get in touch with different marketing tips to different avenues.
Anyone got a contact for her? Keep it in mind. Sam?
So my question is, what is the price point for one of these versus maybe a roll of paper towels?
I would say the price point wouldn't be too high because paper towel and paper plate are cost effective, and most manufacturing companies are making both of them. So I'm sure that they could compress them together to get the unit that they are looking for.
Okay.
Last question?
I love your idea. I'm just going to say, as an avid food consumer, I love it. My question to you is just, can you break down more of, is it one single product or is it a product line?
It would be a product line.
Okay.
So it would be aluminum pans, it would be paper plates, it would be to-go boxes, it would be Ziploc bags. It would be a number of things that we can line with, that would normally be lined with parchment paper or paper towel.
All right, thank you. Now you can relax. All right, next up we have Faith Cummings, who is the owner and chef of Soon to Be Cuisines, located at 429 South Dort Highway in Flint, Michigan. She is a graduate of the Mott Culinary Arts Institute with an associate in culinary arts and food service management. Faith,
Hello, everybody.
take it away.
As she said, I am Faith Cummings, the owner and chef of Soon to Be Cuisines. It's located at 429 South Dort Highway. It's going to be farm to table international cuisine using local farmers and suppliers. We will offer such items as meals for celiacs, Crohn's, diverticulosis, gluten-free, dairy-free, vegetarian, as well as authentic international cuisine. It's also going to be a pork-free facility. We will start off each day with a set number of meals. This is to ensure quality, freshness, and the lowest amount of food waste that's possible. I'm trying to stay about under 10% for that. There will be almost nothing canned or frozen, pretty much just olives, capers, things like that I won't be able to produce cost efficiently. And I'm going to be hiring students from the Mott culinary school, which I'll be able to work around their schedule. As a recent graduate, it's hard to find something in that field to where you can have it work around your schedule at school as well. Everything's going to be made in-house, from breads, pastas, sauces, and that's going to help save the cost on the meals, because we don't have to outsource anything. It's all done in-house there. We're going to be selling canned sauces, soups, salsas, and items of the sort that are going to be gluten-free and dairy-free. The target market are anyone who is, my daughter told me not to use suffering, but as I know it's suffering from celiac, Crohn's, diverticulosis, anyone who has to or chooses to follow a gluten-free diet or a dairy-free diet, vegetarians, anyone who, for whatever reason, whether it's religious or health reasons, follows a pork-free diet, anyone in general who just wants to enjoy a healthy, fresh meal. This is just projected revenue. I don't have sales yet. We do have the brick and mortar, which we're renovating. The total accounts payable is going to be around $10,000, and with 100 guests per day, with an average of $14 a meal, most meals are going to be between $9 and $22. The 22 is like a 2 seafood type of meal that's one of the most expensive. With all of that being said, around $29,000 is the estimated monthly revenue, and that's just estimated. You never know how good it's going to go or how bad it's going to go, so you just have to be prepared. Competition, it's very slim. Within 30 minutes, you might find 5 restaurants that will offer 1 to 2 gluten-free options, 1 to 2 dairy-free options. You might get 1 vegetarian dish, and there for sure are. I didn't find any facilities actually that offered a complete pork-free, where they don't produce any or cook any pork in the facility. Farm to table, I found 5 within 30 minutes that have just the farm to table, but they have very slim options for gluten-free, dairy-free. And then I have been unable to find 1 restaurant within an hour that combines all of these options in the same place. My marketing, of course, with most restaurants and things, word of mouth is the best option. I'm going to use social media, of course, quite a bit. I'm going to offer samples and meals to all of my farmers, all of my suppliers. I'm going to go and give food to the local DJs because their word of mouth is heard louder than anyone in the area. And then I'm going to have a soft opening where I will invite, for a set price, anybody and everybody that I've ever encountered in the culinary world, and they'll be able to come in and just try different menu items, because every day of the week is going to be a different region, and then we're going to have like a taco day. And it's going to be a different region every day, but the same menu week after week with seasonal options. If I do win, the money will go towards renovations and, of course, the health department fees that are extremely high. Myself, my kids, my parents, we've been renovating the property ourselves. I have a projected open date of November 1st. And again, the prize money for flooring, resurfacing tables, the chairs. I was blessed and the building came with equipment, so I'm going to have it serviced, and I have to purchase a few smaller items. And then labor for, just odds and end people and some supplies. And that is it. I would like to thank everybody for coming, and 100K for everything that they do and making it possible. Questions?
Anyone hungry after looking at all of those pictures? That looks amazing.
I tried to get them to let me bribe everybody with my samples, but it was not allowed.
Yeah? Kids, how'd she do? Good?
Thank you.
Great. All right, we'll start here with questions.
So I know a couple of people who have dietary restrictions and stuff like that, and one of the things that I have found is that, sometimes this stuff can taste pretty good and we all can have the same stuff, and sometimes there isn't always that there. So how do you intend to change a couple other people's minds, like where I've been a little hesitant to try stuff because it was following some of those,
Yes.
and to be able to show that it's all tasty regardless
Yes.
of what you would like to have?
So I suffer with diverticulosis, which is pretty similar to everything that I named off. I have a large dietary restriction, and the way that you get around losing the flavor of the items that you can't eat is turning them into a powder or a juice. And then you use that to flavor the food. A lot of the foods that are on my menu are automatically gluten-free and dairy-free, and they have the option of using like coconut milk, because a lot of international food, they really are naturally just dairy-free and gluten-free. They use a lot of rices, a lot of fresh herbs. You know, you can grind anything. I have a dehydrator that I purchased a while ago because I've been planning this for a while. So I'll dehydrate and, you know, grind up everything, and that's kind of how we do it.
Sounds like an invitation
Right.
to change your mind. So I saw the pictures of your building and what it looks like on the inside. So lots of questions, but trying to keep it to one. What does your timeline look like for opening?
November 1st.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that just like heightened the anxiety of speaking in public. I'm wonderful in the kitchen, y'all, but I am no good with public speaking, and my public speaking class was online, so it did no help.
November 1st. You heard it here first. Last question.
Okay, as usual, I'm going to merge two questions. The first question is, do you own the building outright?
I do not. I lease it for a very minimal cost. I have the ability. It actually came with a liquor license, which is a very large bonus. The owner of the building has been vacant for 6 years. It used to be Aloha Lounge, Jimmy Lum's, you know. So it will be mine, projected within a year. Okay. And when I say minimal, I mean like it was dumped in my lap and I could not pass it up. I've been planning this only for 5 months, y'all. So like the idea of my restaurant for like years, but this location, 5 months.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Real quick. Your revenue model, is it based off of takeout? Is it based off of people
I'm sorry, you said what?
Your revenue model, is it based off of takeout or people
Dine-in
dining
only.
in? Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And I do know that I'm going to have a lot of takeout because I've done a lot of marketing downtown and like for people for lunches and such, you know. I've been kind of dabbling in that a bit to decide what I'm going to do as far as takeout. It will be an option, but they're going to want deliveries, so. Right.
Especially starting
And
out.
it is only 6 minutes down Court Street, you guys, so it's very close.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good luck. All right. Last but not least, we have Sheena Harrison, a Fruits of Elegance food truck. She is a mixologist and owner of Mid-Michigan's only licensed bartending school, Drinks of Essence, and now, because what's one more thing, right? The founder of Fruits of Elegance food truck, where she brings more deliciousness to Genesee County.
Thank you. Is the right for this clicking? Well, hello everybody. My name is Sheena Harrison. I am the founder and CEO of Fruits of Elegance Food Truck. We'll recreate memorable experiences through big flavors, okay? So I've been in the beverage industry for over 15 years, okay? So we noticed that there is some problems, right? And then that's comes with like celebrations. Everybody knows celebrations are stressful, right? So I want you guys to use your imagination for a quick second. Imagine that you're planning your child's graduation or your sister or brother's graduation, but you all want something different. You all want something unique. You all want something that's healthy. You all want something that's, of course, budget friendly, right? That's the main thing, budget friendly, right? But guess what? Let us help you. Let us take the stress off of you. We offer all catering for you guys. We also theme our drinks and our treats to match your event. So this weekend we have a game at U of M. We're going to put little U of M stickies in there just to show, you know, go blue, okay? So we definitely can do that. We also offer healthy options as well, like vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, and then non-GMO items as well, okay? So, of course, you want your sister or your brother or your family member to be the standout and the talk of the town after their event, okay? These are just some of the items that we provide. We do smoothies, slushies, Italian ice, and of course, all of them are loaded with some of that fresh fruit, because even though you have your guilty pleasure, which may be your slushie, you still have a little bit of fruit on top of that, okay? All right, our marketing segments. We are marketing to Genesee County. Our price ranges from $5 to $12. We target marketing for families, individuals, and organizations. All three of our target is everyone loves something that's nutritious. Everyone loves something that's beautifully delicious. And so a lot of times you guys will see us out. We do frequent pop-ups in the community, and then we also could be hired for events as well. All right, our revenue model. Year one, our revenue model is $50,000. Our expenses is $28,370 with a profit of $21,640. Year two, this expense right here will drop down because we spent $16,000 on our actual food truck to have it built out and specialized for what we needed it for. So in year two, we will see a bigger profit there. These numbers are made from the last 3 months we have been running. We only been running since July of this year, but we have been doing very well, and we hopefully continue to do that. But we did slash these in half because we know like fall and winter is not our peak season, but we still hope to navigate through some of those fall and winter months. All right, so we do have competition. Well, clearly that end is over there hanging, right? So we do have some competitors. We noticed that we have 3 competitors, okay? But nobody clicks all of the things that we have. Everybody, you know, they have mobile. Well, one person is mobile. One does have 2 of them meet dietary restrictions. A couple is full service, but we offer all of those things. We're mobile. We meet dietary restrictions. We have full service catering. And then we do have the capacity to operate, well, we're hoping to have the capacity to operate all year around. And that brings us to our marketing strategy. So our marketing strategy, we have been marketing on social media. We have been doing pop-up events. We've had radio ads. We've had word of mouth. And then if you can see here on our social media, people are kind of following us. So that's like an exciting thing. Like people want to know where we are so they can kind of get our treats. So that's super exciting because that word of mouth is a big thing. Then we have our growth strategy. We're definitely going to reward our customers for coming back. We'll give them a discount or some treats. You know, buy 3, get some free. We have a reward system, a referral system. We do have the capacity to do 2 events at once. So if our food truck is too big for your venue, we do have a cart as well. And then always, we love giving back to our community. We do all kind of back to school drives and stuff. So that's, you know, you guys can come out and maybe take some of those things for free because we do love our community and we always want to give back to our community. All right, so this 5K, how would it help us? We want to winterize our trailer. We want to make sure that we get a bigger generator so we can add more power to get some of those hot coffees, teas, and apple ciders. We also want a we want a POS system to help with our inventory, and we definitely want to speed up our process so we can make those lines go down and serve our customers faster. And we want to thank you guys for your time. And does anybody have any questions? That little thing just moved over there.
Delicious. I love the idea of just throwing fruit on top and all of a sudden it's healthy, right? All right, questions over here.
Yeah, so kind of compared to some of your other competitors, where does your price point fit in, and then also kind of compared to in the sense of those that are also doing the catering, like the event costs and like the extra bit that comes into going to an event to do that? How do you compare to some of your competitors from your research?
So just depending on the services that we're going to provide, we definitely come a little bit lower because a lot of times we don't have a lot of overhead, you know. Hopefully once we pay that trailer down, we won't have too much overhead. And then we buy a lot of our stuff in bulk, except for the fruit, because we want to make sure that that's fresh. So we want to keep our prices affordable, but yet we want everything to still taste good and be able to do that. So when we go out for catering, we are able to do that you know, I've been catering for a very long time with my other business, so I kind of mastered it a little bit. So it's pretty easy to know what they want, cater to them, ask the questions I need to stay within their budget.
Good. Sam?
Okay. So I was at the farmer's market this summer, and you were there with your truck, and I was able to get an ice cream, but the generator was overheating, so there were only a couple options. So my question is silly, but I was just wondering if you found a solution to when that happens, when your generator overheats. How do you overcome that and still serve your customers?
Great question. So people think a food truck is like all this and glamorous, but you don't know like all the intricate details of a food truck. We did solve that problem. So we started off with a 3500 generator, then we went to a 6500 generator, and we just traded into a 9000 generator because the plug from our food truck is a 25 amp, but no, it's a 30 amp, but all the other generators was 25 amp. So we had to get a 30 amp generator. And so the 30 amp generator allows more power, and then it allows everything to function that way. But the one problem we've noticed is that it's really loud. So when we go to some events, they're like, do you need your generator on, or can you just plug it up to us? So that's why we want to get the quieter generator, so we can have all that power, and then it's a little quieter too. But thank you for your support. I appreciate that. Sorry about that.
Growing pains.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, how was it? Was it good? It was good, yeah.
Oh, mine too.
Last question?
Who is running, like, are you running this? Do you have people working for you? And then, because for that much of a profit within 3 months' time, that means that you guys are busy. So
Yes.
is this are you going somewhere every day, every weekend? What does that look like?
So I run it primarily, me and my fiance, and then I do have a couple staff that helps me as well. Sorry. We do have a couple staff that helps us as well. We are really, really busy in the summer months. We usually do, during the week, 2 events, and then on the weekend, we do events Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then sometimes 2 events on a Saturday or Sunday. So we're extremely busy during the summer months. Hopefully we can kind of keep some of that pace during the fall and winter months. That's another reason why we want to winterize, so we can be able to, keep some of that volume up as well.
Great. All right.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Okay, that was all of our competitors for this evening. Let's give all of them a round of applause. Great job. And now is everyone's favorite part, voting. Judges, we're gonna go ahead and dismiss you up these stairs right behind me. Watch out for any cords back there. Okay. So the judges will be deliberating.
10 minutes.
10 minutes on the clock, starting at some point soon. While they deliberate, you guys, like I said, have the choice to pick a people's choice through online voting. You can open your cell phone, open a browser for those watching online, go to vote4pitch.com. Everyone there, you're going to rank the participants from top to bottom, from your favorite to least favorite. So favorites at the top, least favorite at the bottom. And that voting is going to be open for the next 5 minutes. 5 minutes, everyone voting. Favorite to least. While you guys are voting, we are very lucky to have a previous winner with us, Jasmine Cisco of Little Sugas LLC. Jasmine, come on up. No stranger to the pitch. Mic check 1, 2. Yeah, round of applause for Jasmine. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. So as I mentioned, Jasmine is a previous winner, the owner of Little Sugas LLC, a former graduate of Mott Culinary Institute. So we've got some great representation from that school here and University of Michigan Flint. Jasmine serves people in the community with custom cupcakes for events and hosts baking and pastry arts classes at the Flint Farmers Market. I'm telling you, with all these people here, we could throw a party.
Yeah, we
could throw a party. So Jasmine, thanks for joining us this evening. Tell us a little bit about what you have been up to since winning first place in August of 2021.
All right. Well, hi, everyone. I hope everybody's doing all right this evening. So I've actually been up to a lot, like Brianna said. So I host classes at the Flint Farmers Market for my little chefs, which starts at age 4, and then I do grown-up classes. And then lately, since it's been summer, I've been doing pop-ups within the community. So literally, I've been popping up at the market or downtown Flint in Buckingham Alley, just doing like my cupcakes, because that's my specialty. And then when I'm not popping up, since we're going into fall and winter, then I'm just doing custom cupcake orders. So like tomorrow, I'll actually be at the Flint Farmers Market for the University of Michigan Flint for their homecoming. So I'll just do all their custom cupcake orders for them. So if I'm not teaching, then I'm just doing cupcakes. So
very cool. What is Little Chefs? Is that the program that you run?
So I call my my youth little chefs, because
Okay.
they start at the age 4.
Yeah.
So lately I've been ranging anywhere between the age of 4 to like about 12 years old or 13. So I refer to them as my little chefs. So they pretty much, they just transitioned to food actually. Because
Okay.
at first we were all things baked, but our last class we kind of did brunch. I just taught them the basics of breakfast. So like every little chef came in and made pancakes from scratch, learned how to do eggs, omelets, and things of that nature.
That's so
Yeah,
fun,
it's
because
cute.
shows like that are so popular now on Netflix and Kids Baking Championship. So Guardians can find out about that online?
Yes,
Or?
so how I have it set up is if you have Facebook, you can find me at Little Sugars on Facebook, and usually in every event section, all the classes are listed that I have coming up, and you literally can click on a link, you can have a description, and you can go ahead and pay for your little chefs, or if it's a grown-up class, you can go ahead and pay for your ticket right then and there.
Awesome.
It'll just take you to a square link, and then
Yeah.
it'll prompt you to pay.
All right, so once everyone's done voting, you can then open up Facebook, go like her page, follow along. Tell us a little bit about how the competition helped move your business forward.
Honestly, the competition, it not only allowed me to continue on what I was doing, it actually introduced Little Sugars to the city of Flint, because at first it was just kind of close-knit to the people that knew me, but when I got up here, and then with the help of 100K Ideas, it kind of gave me more promo to let everybody know what was happening with Little Sugars. So basically, it not only gave me the marketing aspect of it, it actually gave me the funding, because with the $5,000 I was able to pay up a whole bunch of classes at the Flint Farmers Market.
Yeah.
I was able to pay my rental fees for like 2 or 3 months, so it was amazing. So when I was able to pay up all those months, most of it was profit, so it was a win.
That's so awesome. So what advice would you give people thinking about applying to participate for the Pitch4K?
Honestly, my advice would be to do it, because at this point, when you hear your idea out loud, that makes it more feasible, and that gives you the more like the confidence to actually go through with it. And then honestly, it gets you more support. So if you have the opportunity to get on a platform like this, just take it, because those strangers or even your family or even the people that's close to you, it'll make it seem more real, whatever idea you have.
Were you nervous to make the jump before you did Pitch4K, or?
A little bit, because when we do our own businesses, it's kind of like sacred to us.
Yeah.
So I was really stingy with Little Sugars to begin with. Like nobody knew what the heck Little Sugars was but my family.
That's what Asia was saying earlier. She was like, "This is the first time I'm gonna get up in front of a group of people." And
it was actually my first time too, like sharing it, because I was just like, no, I just want to keep it like so close to me, nobody has to know. But when I got up here, ever since then it just kind of took off. So now I'm like, I'm ready. Like whatever it is, I'm like, okay, Little Sugar's gonna be there.
Yeah,
so
that's so great. So what's next for you?
Honestly, I think I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing with the classes, the custom cupcake orders. I've been very fortunate enough to be a pastry chef on a lot of like fine, fancy events. A couple weeks ago, I was actually in Southfield. Second year to date, I was at Frame, so it's like a fancy like 5-course seating. So I happened to be the dessert component on there.
Awesome.
So I did my little specialty cupcakes that you'll see at my at the pop-up. So I'm just gonna keep it going. Classes, pop-ups, custom orders, whatever I can get my hands on, because you know the ultimate goal and my pitch was for the baking studio. So that's still the goal, to get my own baking studio so I can have my classes in-house in my own space versus the farmer's market. So
You have a location in mind, or?
I don't know yet. You know what? Well, ideally, I would love to be downtown Flint now. Who wouldn't? But I don't know. It's in the air. It's in the universe.
Get there.
We'll see.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining
thank
us.
you.
We appreciate it. And thank you guys all for being here.
Thank you guys.
All right, so our judges are still deliberating, so while they do, I will just make a couple of quick announcements. If you enjoyed this, if you want to support business here in Flint and Genesee County, we would love to have you back to support our next round of competitors. The next competition will be January 26th, 2023, so be sure to mark that on your calendars. Submissions will open tonight, so if you know of someone who could benefit from participating in a program like this, even like you've heard tonight, just for the coaching, the help alone, getting your idea out there, learning how to talk about it better, please encourage your friends and family to do so. With that, we'll take just a couple of minutes if you need to run and use the restroom, if you want to grab another piece of pizza, and then I will give everyone the call when our judges are coming back to announce the winners. I'm sorry? 30 seconds for voting. So if you have not had a chance to vote yet, or you want to send that link to someone really quick for them to vote, now's the time. Couple more seconds. This website will be on the screen. Close? Good? All right. And we will be announcing our winners, starting with the People's Choice winner and recipient of a $1,000 check. Drum roll, please. All right, People's Choice is gonna go to Asia Harris with Harris Family Health. Congratulations. I don't know why, but a giant check just makes everything better, right?
Thank you.
Asia, anything you want to say?
I want to thank my family for supporting this like random idea last year, and it's finally come to fruition. I'm really excited about opening the clinic next year, and really appreciate all the support from everybody. I think Flint will do great with this and deserve this new clinic.
Congratulations. And we will all be there to support Asia, right, on opening day. When you're ready to cut the ribbon, you call me. All right, next up we have third place. The third place recipient will also receive a giant check for $1,000. And in third place today, we have Ben Logan with Ben's Buzz Box. Congrats, Ben. Anything you want to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome to have this huge check, but really I'm excited to get in with a network like this and have people to get behind my idea. It's a really big project, and more support and cash to put behind it is really going to move this forward. So really
Absolutely.
appreciate this event.
Congrats, Ben. All right. Second place and the recipient of $2,500, we have Sheena Harrison with Fruits of Elegance Food Truck. Congratulations, Sheena. Anything you want to say?
Yes, thanks everybody. I hope that you guys will get a chance to come out and take some of our tasty treats when we be out in the community. So just thank everybody, and please check us out, whether it's at Fruits of Elegance or it's at Drinks of Essence, our bartending school. But thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it.
Awesome, congratulations. All right, and the moment we have all been waiting for, first place and the recipient of $5,000, we have Faith Cummings with Soon to Be Cuisine. Congratulations. Take your giant check. Anything you want to say?
Thank you to 100K, and especially Vivian over here. She hipped me to all of this new thing like very late in the game. My kids, my mom and dad, and everybody here.
Congratulations. All right, and another round of applause for all of our competitors tonight. The awareness alone, you guys are all winners. Again, we want to give a thank you to our sponsors who you're seeing here on the screen: MEDC, 100K Ideas, Northgate, Flint Genesee Group, Flint Prince, SkyPoint, U of M, and the CS Mott Foundation. As I previously mentioned, our next competition will take place on January 26, 2023. Seems far out there, but it's coming up quick. So submissions are now open. If you know of someone who should be in this competition, who would benefit from the exposure, the experience, please send them our way. We want to give a big thank you. Come on up to our judges here, Chris, Latasha, and Samantha. Thank you guys so much. I know that it was not an easy choice with all of these great ideas, but we appreciate your guys' work and input tonight. We also want to give a thank you to all of our mentors. Some of you guys were here, who have worked with our competitors throughout this process to coach them, to guide them. Again, we couldn't do it without you. Thank you guys all for joining us. Your first pitch competition, I hope it won't be your last. If you have any questions for 100K and what they do, you want to just learn more about their organizations, we've got staff all over. So raise your hand, 100K team. If you want to hear more about them, feel free to grab one of them on your way out. But again, thanks so much for joining us today, and we hope you have a great night.